All right, let's jump right in. We are going deep into the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata, for a story that asks a pretty staggering question. What would you really give up for the person you love? This isn't your typical love story. Oh no. We're talking a desperate bargain, a miraculous return from the dead, and a quest for justice that, well, let's just say it takes a very, very dark turn.
So, at the heart of all this, we have Ruru and Pramadvara. It starts with a beautiful romance, gets completely shattered by a sudden tragedy, and then it leads to an impossible choice offered up by the gods themselves. And I'm not being dramatic. We are talking about a literal negotiation with the Lord of Death.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our hero is this guy, Ruru. He's a devout young sage, totally head over heels for his fiancée, the beautiful Pramadvara. You know, their future looks perfect. But then, on their wedding day of all days, tragedy strikes. Pramadvara is bitten by a venomous snake, and in a single instant, his entire world just collapses. Ruru is just absolutely broken. He runs off into the forest, wailing, and makes this incredibly desperate plea. Now, to really get what he's offering here, you gotta understand this idea of punya. Think of it like cosmic good deed points, right? All the good karma he's built up over his entire life. And he's saying, take it all. I'll cash in every last bit from my spiritual savings account if it just means I can have her back. So as Ruru is sitting there in total despair, something pretty incredible happens. A divine messenger literally appears out of the heavens. But, and this is key, he's not there to offer condolences. Nope, he's there to explain the fundamental rules of the universe and to reveal a potential loophole. The messenger starts with the hard truth. He basically says, look, the laws of fate are absolute. Her time was up. Mortals can't reverse that. It's a closed case. But then he pauses, and he adds that there is one exception, a single extraordinary path that's been made available just for him. And this brings us right to the heart of the story. I'll ask you, if you were Ruru, what would you be willing to pay? What sacrifice could possibly be great enough to literally rewrite fate and bring someone back from the land of the dead? So, here it is, the deal. And it's laid out with brutal clarity. All those good deeds, his punya, yeah, that's not going to cut it. The price is much, much steeper. He has to give her something of his own, something totally irreplaceable, his own life force. This is the one-time-only offer from the heavens, a choice with absolutely no middle ground. He lives a shorter life so that she can live it all. That's the deal. So, faced with this cosmic ultimatum, how does Ruru respond? Does he hesitate? Does he try to haggle for a better deal? Well, his answer tells you everything, and I mean everything you need to know about the depth of his love. He doesn't even pause. His acceptance is instant. It is total. Gladly, he says, there's no calculation, no second thoughts. He just sees a path to getting her back, and he takes it, without a moment's hesitation, no matter what it costs him personally. It's a literal sharing of existence. From this moment forward, their lifespans are completely intertwined, one life now split between two bodies. So, how does a deal like this actually get finalized? I mean, it's not enough for Ruru to just agree. The offer has to go up the celestial chain of command all the way to Dharmaraja, the Lord of Death, for the final approval. Only his consent can make this whole cosmic transaction official. And with that, the miracle happens. Pramadvara awakens, not as a ghost, but as her full, vibrant self, almost like she was just waking up from a really long nap. Their families are overjoyed, the wedding is back on, and the two lovers are finally, blissfully married. But this isn't where the story ends. Not by a long shot. You'd think it would be a happily ever after, right? But the trauma of what happened leaves this deep, dark scar on Ruru's soul. His love story is complete, but a new, much more destructive story is about to begin. Even though Pramadvara is alive, Ruru's grief doesn't just disappear. It curdles. It turns into this cold, burning rage. And this is such a crucial insight into trauma, isn't it? Fixing the outcome doesn't erase the wound. So, he blames the entire serpent race for his pain and makes a vow. He will become the enemy of all snakes, killing every single one he ever encounters. And for years, Ruru carries out this brutal vendetta. He becomes a hunter, his staff a weapon. One day, deep in a forest, he comes across an old, non-venomous snake. But he's so blinded by his rage, he just sees an Emmy. He raises his staff, ready to deliver another death blow. But then, just as he's about to strike, the unthinkable happens. The serpent speaks. It doesn't hiss or flee. It speaks with a human voice. It addresses him as Brahmana, a title for a wise sage, and directly challenges the morality of his whole quest. And in that one question, the serpent basically holds up a mirror to Ruru, forcing him to confront the man his grief has turned him into. And that's the question this whole story leaves us with. Ruru's journey began with a beautiful, truly selfless act of love. He literally gave half of his life away. But that very same powerful emotion, once it was twisted by grief and trauma, transformed him into a vengeful killer. It really forces us to ask ourselves, where is that line? When does a quest for justice for a wrong just turn into a cycle of violence fueled by our own pain?